Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Matt, aka the Lumberjack Landlord, here with our favorite Friday guest. And right now, the only guest that I will even have on my calendar, because I'm not expanding the calendar, Mr. Mike Zuber from One Rental at a Time. How's it going, Zub?
Good, man. How you doing? So yeah, we're at the office doing this first one from my phone while we get the computer going. So I appreciate you being a little flexible this morning.
All good, my man. Don't worry. That server class machine that I sent you the link on, that will help things. It's literally press button, 7 seconds later, everything's illuminated.
Yeah, my computer's a little slower than that. So I definitely need that.
I completely understand that. We went down that same path. So like I said, when we very first connected, I said, I don't want to give you what the questions are. I'm just going to ask you right there on the spot. So
yeah, let's do it.
The question that I have for you is really twofold. And the first part A, is what was your biggest surprise of 2021? Regarding
that's a good one, right? I haven't thought about that. I think my biggest surprise of 2021 is that really it was a 2020 repeat. I would have thought, that we've gotten through this hopefully once in a lifetime pandemic. We would have kind of learned our lessons, but it seemed to kind of rinse and repeat, both from, the next variant, whatever, Greek letter that is, to, max, especially in California, right? Yeah. I remember taking a vacation, right? Getting on the road in July because, we were celebrating, and like 3 weeks later, it's like, nope, going backwards. So some of that's very California oriented, but when I look across the board, not a lot of international travel, not a lot of migration. It was just kind of the same. And then look at real estate investing. It was even a slower year, but less inventory was probably, if I had to pick the one thing, is less inventory, which really means single family homes are just great investments. So 2021 surprised me because it felt like a repeat or just an extension, maybe better said, of 2020. It's 2022's got to get the stuff behind us.
So based on that surprise, what did that do to change your behavior?
Well, it got me convinced that we're heading into a recession. We can't, stimulus stopped. All these other things have stopped. They're backing away. I think it's time to pay the price. So, I think in June, July, August, I kind of felt like the last bit of the sugar high. And I didn't have a rosy opinion about 2022 or 2023. At the time, I didn't know which year, but I knew it was coming. Because again, I think 2019, we were headed to a recession, right? The yield curve got flat, if not inverted. And we weren't in a great spot. Then we had this once in a lifetime event that, we trillions upon trillions and trillions of dollars to keep this party going. And eventually you got to pay the price. So for me, it feels like 2022 is going to be that time. So I raised dry powder. I locked in what I believe will be lifetime low interest rates. I'm not of the opinion that rates will go up and then fall. I don't think they will. So I locked stuff in. I am willing to sit on cash and have inflation eat my cash. And, I'm willing to do that for 2 years. And if this party keeps going and I miss out, then I'll write a check and pay off the debt. But I don't think we're in a good spot. And that is even after today's amazing jobs numbers, right? I still don't feel good about where 2022 is going. I think there's a lot of sugar high, a lot of bad behavior, a lot of bad businesses that are limping along. And it's just, I don't have a great feeling about 2022.
Zombie companies like zombie real estate in China.
Yeah, exactly. The party goes on until it doesn't. And once the tide goes out, like Warren Buffett says, you see who's swimming naked. And I think we'll have less. I think there's a lot of that going on right now.
So how does that differ, 2021? How does that differ from your expectation of 2021?
So heading into 2021, I was generally very positive. I felt like we had this thing behind us. I actually had felt like we were pretty close to like a roaring 20s, coming out of this versus, what will be a recession. I was not thinking about a recession December of 2020, unlike I was in December of 21. It just felt like that last year of sugar high wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
And you got to pay the price, and now we're paying the price with interest. So I'm a little nervous.
Yeah. So all that being said, what do you think, do you see, what do you forecast as being crystal ball time?
Mm.
Biggest surprise of 22?
So I think there's a couple, especially in the real estate side. I think real estate prices or values, whatever you want to call it, go up.
Mhm.
I think transactions go down, and I think inventory builds.
Yeah.
I think all of those. So most people think, hey, if inventory doubles, real estate has to fall, or if interest rates go up a point, real estate has to fall. It just doesn't.
Mm-mm.
We were in abnormal times. We had an artificially low rate that is now coming back to more normal rates. And yeah, and then I guess the last thing is I think rents flatten at the end of the year. We have seen some gigantic rent growth
Yeah.
that is non-repeatable, frankly, can't be repeatable, or people are going to revolt, right? And bad things will happen. We'll have price controls and things like that.
Yeah.
So rent needs to calm down. So yeah.
Do you see we've never seen a raise in rents like this ever.
No,
Not-
20
not-
years, never.
Not in a single year, and not certainly compounded, right? In the last two.
Yeah,
So do you
it's unhealthy.
Yeah. Do you think that this could be the first time in that 20 years where rents don't just go flat, where they actually decline?
I think there will be some
23?
rent declines in pockets, right? Know thy city. But when you look at national, I think rents are flat. I think much like real estate values, where we've absorbed or had a decade of appreciation in a 2-year window, and then it's just going to be flat. At least that's my hope. And that's said in face of 5%, 7% inflation. So yeah, back to, I go back to the 80s, which was the last time we had high inflation. And parents, at least mine, were making decisions about, do we pay the electricity bill or the phone bill?
Sure.
And if rents keep going up, more and more people will have to make that choice. And that's just not good.
Yeah. What do you think the biggest misconception is about what's going on right now in 22, and what that will actually lead to?
Well, I think the average consumer who doesn't really follow our channels or follow the media probably thinks the economy is great.
Mhm.
They probably think, hey, 4% unemployment, wages going up 5, 6, 7%. They probably look at that and think some people may be thinking this is the best economy they've lived in.
Sure.
Maybe if you're Gen Z, maybe, I don't know. It just isn't. It's all fake. I think we spent $9 trillion over the last 2.5 years or whatever it's been. And, Milton Friedman, the very well-respected and Nobel Prize winning economist, said that inflation is very simply too much money chasing too few goods. So, Wall Street bets, meme stocks, just this, that, the other, crypto. There were people making gobs of money, and now they're not. And that's going to be a really rude wake-up call. And some of them will be burnt just like we were, right? They're like, I'm never going back, right? You make a lot of money and then you lose it all. It's not a good feeling.
Well, I mean, you look at the big stuff, right? That people are talking about all the time. Meta, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin. Like, you look at all this stuff and it literally has imploded in the last few weeks. I didn't see what Bitcoin was at this morning, but I know it's nowhere near, and I know it's not in the 40s.
Yeah, well, it's getting pretty close. It's up today, but it's there were a lot of people speculating that call themselves investors, and that's what did me in.
Agreed.
There's nothing wrong with being a speculator. What is wrong is when you call yourself a long-term investor and then you look at it minute by minute candles. That's where I think Meet Kevin, for example, went wrong. He's been telling everybody diamond hand this and go long this and buy the dip that. And he's staring at minute by minute candles. That is not long-term investing behavior. That is, hey, let's trick some people watching me on YouTube into thinking I know what I'm doing. And let's look, oh, it's a green candle. Oh, it's a red candle. It's this. It's that. I mean, it makes for good theater and it probably makes for good viewership. And clearly he's making $1 million a month. So why stop? But that's not what long-term investors do. Long-term investors that I know buy and hold, guys, they haven't looked at a candle. They don't make their decisions on a minute by minute candle or even a 4-hour candle or anything of that nature. Just if you're going to do that, you're at best a trader. And I would argue you might even be a speculator. So, but you're not an investor if that's what you do. And certainly not buy and hold investor doing that.
So last question for you kind of down this path is based on what Meet Kevin has done.
Mhm.
Do you think that he's opened himself up for some sort of a lawsuit?
I don't know. I mean, he tries to do enough disclaimers that do not sue me. I certainly wouldn't, no idea, not a lawyer, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel good about it. That's for sure.
Yeah. A little bit scary, right? Because I mean, he's doing some of those things himself, but then he unloaded his entire portfolio in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a little cringeworthy. You know, I mean, if I'm going to unload my entire portfolio, I'm probably going to mention it on our shows.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Hey,
I've listed everything. I'm out.
Exactly. I've listed everything and I'm out, and here's why I did it. And then it's a 60-day path, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or a 45-day path, not any of this craziness. So Mike, awesome. Appreciate you answering all the questions. I know that that's been burning a hole in my mind. Kind of what was the biggest surprise of 21? What was the greatest? What do we think is going to be the greatest surprise of 22? Your track record's been quite strong, my friend. It's been quite strong the last year.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that March 50 basis point move by the Fed, because I called that months ago.
Oh yeah. I would not believe. I mean, I cannot believe that they would consider anything less. Truly.
After today's jobs number, 432,000, 5.7% wage inflation, they have no choice. They have no choice. If they want any reputation at all, they have no choice.
I'm not sure they care much about that.
Well, we're going to find out in about 6 weeks.
Well, the question is what horrible, awful things did Powell promise to get even put in a position where he could be renominated? Like, because
I don't know.
He's not running it anything like what he did. He's kind of like saying, hey, so yeah, I sort of made the mess before, but I'm the one who knows how to clean it up. So you probably need me at the helm because I'll clean it up too.
Yeah.
But I mean, because again, this is all completely contrary to what he did the last few years.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was a good job renominating him, because that way you can blame him.
Agreed.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to put a new guy in and then he catches the blame. So I think it was the right decision. And frankly, it was probably right for all of us. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. I think it was a wise choice. I probably would have made the same one.
There's always half the audience that's going to throw rotten eggs at him.
Yeah, of course. Of course. But at least now he can say he's not my guy, right? He inherited him. He can point at the other one. So
yeah, exactly.
It is what it is.
Well, how can everybody find you, my friend?
One rental at a time. Website, YouTube, books, all that good stuff.
It's all there. Saturday morning live streams, 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
We're ready. We're ready. Well, that's our family time in the morning where we hear real estate, where we talk real estate.
Yeah. You may not get one tomorrow, just so you know, because we have a dishwasher leak at home where they're coming back to install it. And I want to be ready to help Olivia with that. So probably no live stream tomorrow, but
This just in.
Yeah.
This just in. Somebody's going to have to fill in the gap. Dion.
I know. Dion, what's up, man?
Batman light in the sky, bro. Answer the call. Michael, thank you so much for the time. Looking forward to hitting it in segment 2.
You got it, man. Thanks.
Take care.
Mm-hmm.